extreme physical fragility on one side and unimaginably huge, record-breaking financial success on the other.
So let's just start right here with a truly staggering number, $450 million. According to recent financial analysis, that's the estimated net worth of the Neymar business empire by 2026. I mean, it's a colossal figure, right? It puts him in the absolute upper echelon of global wealth, way beyond the reach of your typical professional athlete.
Which naturally begs the question, how exactly did a player with a downright career-threatening injury record manage to simultaneously shatter the global transfer market and build a $500 million empire? It's a riddle, really, and it kind of forces us to completely rethink how we even value human assets in high-stakes professional sports.
All right, Section 1, the ultimate fragile asset. To solve this mystery, we first have to brutally examine the physical reality of Neymar's career. We need to strip away the highlight reels for a second. When you track his health history through Sportsdunya's injury database, well, a pretty grim picture emerges. Just look at this timeline. In 2019, a ruptured ankle cost him 64 days. Then in 2021, adductor and ankle issues sidelined him for 114 days. Then came the big one, a devastating cruciate ligament tear in 2023 that took a massive 340 days. And looking into 2025 and 2026, the knee surgeries and calf injuries just keep piling up. It's a relentless, harrowing list of recurring trauma.
And when you add up all 24 of his major injuries over the years, you get this breathtaking number right here, 1,222. That is the total number of days he has been officially out of action. Think about that for a second. That is well over 3 full years of complete physical inactivity, sitting right square in the middle of his prime professional window.
His longest single absence alone was 340 days, stretching all the way from October 2023 to September 2024. That's practically an entire calendar year gone. So if we're looking at him purely as a physical asset, we've got a premium investment that is effectively broken a massive percentage of the time.
Which brings us to Section 2, the player trading game. So how exactly do the accountants view a player with a history like this? Moving off the pitch and into the boardroom, KPMG football benchmark data shows us how modern clubs treat players, strictly as investments. We're leaving behind the emotion of the cheering crowds and stepping right into the cold, hard logic of operational performance tracking.
To your average accountant, a player's trading balance really boils down to 4 mechanical steps. First up, you calculate the profit or loss on the disposal of the player. Second, you subtract the amortization, which basically just means spreading their initial transfer costs over the total length of their contract. Third, you account for any loan revenues. And fourth, and this is the big one for us, you subtract impairment.
Now, impairment is absolutely crucial here. In corporate terms, impairment is a reduction in an asset's value recognized as a financial expense, and it's very frequently caused by things like career-threatening injuries. It's literally a built-in accounting measure designed for exactly the type of severe physical breakdowns Neymar has experienced over and over. By all traditional accounting logic, his financial value should have plummeted right alongside his health.
But it didn't. Welcome to Section 3, the Neymar effect.
Yet, despite all those massive impairment risks, his financial trajectory completely defied those traditional rules. Just take a look at historic transfer fees. You've got legends like Luis Figo setting standard-breaking records at 60 million euros, Paul Pogba later pushing the envelope to 105 million, and then bam, Neymar at 222 million. In 2017, this Neymar effect just completely shattered the market. Paris Saint-Germain paid a release clause that more than doubled the previous world record, permanently warping the entire global transfer window.
It was an unprecedented bet. Let's call it the 42% exception. Historically, a world record transfer fee normally hovered around, say, 23% of the buying club's total operating revenues. But PSG? They bet a staggering 42% of their entire operating revenue on acquiring Neymar. Why in the world would a club risk so much corporate capital on someone with such a massive impairment profile?
Let's dive into Section 4, the $450 million empire.
To really understand this valuation, we have to look behind the scenes. The invisible puppet master making these record numbers happen actually wasn't a traditional slick sports agent. It was his father, Neymar Santos Sr. He gave up his own modest playing career to take direct, methodical control over his son's trajectory by founding a company called NR Sports. He essentially manages the whole shebang, all sponsorships, licensing, and image rights. And yes, he's the one who negotiated that massive PSG transfer. It's a complete family operation, by the way, with Neymar's mother, Nadine, running their massive charitable footprint. But here's where it gets wild.
His father expanded this empire far beyond simple playing contracts. We're talking lucrative ventures into real estate, entertainment, and crucially, a historic acquisition in 2025. NR Sports actually took over the commercial rights to the Pelé brand. Think about that for a second. They executed one of the largest business acquisitions in Brazilian soccer history. They aren't just participants in the sport anymore. They are literally buying up its legacy.
This leads us to Section 5, brand value over matches.
This highly strategic off-pitch empire is the key to resolving our initial paradox. When you contrast his extreme physical unreliability, remember those 1,222 days missed, against his absolutely flawless commercial reliability and that $450 million in wealth, the truth starts to emerge. The traditional rules of player valuation simply don't apply here. Sure, his body might require surgery, but his commercial machinery? That never gets injured.
The analysts at KPMG Football Benchmark really hit the nail on the head here. They noted that from a strictly financial, on-pitch perspective, this massive investment would most likely be negative. But Neymar brings massive, totally unique international brand exposure. The pure football return on investment might look like a loss on paper, but the global brand return for PSG, and by extension the state of Qatar, is absolutely astronomical.
So we're looking at an athlete who built a $500 million empire while spending over 3 full years broken and off the pitch. And honestly, it leaves us with a fascinating, almost uncomfortable reality to ponder. In modern sports, is a superstar's brand now fundamentally more valuable than their physical body? Keep that in the back of your mind the next time a record-breaking transfer flashes across your screen. Because the game isn't just changing. The very definition of what makes an athlete valuable has already been rewritten.